Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios. The Championship of Home African Nations kick off this weekend. It is CHAN 2024. And Nigeria, the Super Eagles B team, will be led by coach Eric Chelle as we hope to capture our first title on the continent in terms of CHAN. For Sekou Chelle, it will be his first major tournament with Nigeria, as he also prepares for the World Cup qualifiers in September. Onkani Sam and of course Babatunde joins me on set as we preview the 2024 CHAN tournament that will be taking place in East Africa. Beautiful football in Tanzania, in Uganda and Kenya. 3 nations co-hosting a competition in Africa. Many have argued and said no, but CAF are saying we are going with this, and the competition starts this weekend with the 3 nations. 19 teams will take part in this competition. 5 in Group A, 5 in Group B, 5 in Group C, and 4 in Nigeria's group. Senegal are the defending champion, and Nigeria is grouped with Senegal. Guys, let's start with the competition proper.
Yep.
19 teams. 3 countries, and all of what it is. Zanzibar, Tanzania. If you want to add Zanzibar, of course, no, not a country though, but still with Tanzania. Lots of stadiums will also be on display. What should we be expecting from the CHAN? It is a competition for home-based players. Now, let me give you an instance. Players who play at the CHAN tournament must be playing in their domestic league as at when the competition is taking place. So it's not saying that a Nigerian player who plays football in, let's say, Benin Republic is ineligible. He must be playing in the Nigerian Premier League or the National League or the Nationwide League. You must be playing football in your home country and not elsewhere. So, and that's why we have...
Gives me the vibes of, what they call it, the Nation League. Though Nation League is better, but give me the vibe of the Nation League, almost in the same class. If we're doing the right, it should have been in the same class. 3 countries hosting it practically for obvious reason, logistics. None of this country can single-handedly host this because, this competition. Stadium issue. None of this country have more than one reasonable stadium. So, for those that are hitting their head and asking question, why are we having 3 countries hosting a single tournament? This is simple reason: logistics. None of these countries, Tanzania doesn't have more than one reasonable stadium.
So Tanzania have 2. The one
that are certified, the one that can host matches.
They needed to upgrade anyway.
Well, so basically, that's the reason why that is happening. An idea that I will come right from the inception, sincerely speaking, I've been a fan of the CHAN tournament for obvious reason. Now, there should be football beyond just your domestic league. If you're not fortunate to go to Europe, if you're not fortunate to play in CAF Champions League, if you're not fortunate to play in the continent, then you should be fortunate enough to play a competition that feels like, okay, I'm playing away from my normal ground. And so that's what it does basically. And it's funny enough. For me, from the beginning, I feel it was supposed to be like a breeding ground for Africa, for players that playing in at home to probably find a way to national team, even if they cannot go to Europe. But somehow that's not been the essence again. Somehow it has been just completely. It's all about just go and play and come back. And one thing that actually surprised me. This is about the first time the Super Eagles coach is going to be in charge, because
Keshi was in charge. Olise was also in charge. They were all Super Eagles coaches. Keshi and Olise, when they took the
but the guy that took us to final, I think, was
Salisu Yusuf was not the Super Eagles. Was the only one. Was the only one.
For me, if this CHAN go right, if this CHAN, come on, let everything be CHAN. Let's have a domestic coach taking care of these guys. I was thinking Daniel Gomo, they will be the guy. Sincerely speaking, I thought Sekou Chelle would just go there as a spectator or as a scout,
as a supervisor,
as a supervisor or as a scout
to the coach.
Simple.
But I think it was the NFF decision, because at some point when the CHAN started, we saw Ogumodede and Fidelis Ilechukwu take charge of series of qualifiers. But for obvious reasons, maybe the NFF insisted, or maybe Sekou Chelle also wanted to, and then it was changed that he should take charge. It's not the only. I think Abraham Grant is also taking charge of the nation. I think Zambia also is taking charge of their main national team and also taking charge of the CHAN.
Not a nice
idea
at all, if you ask me. Not a nice idea at all. If it's going to be home-based player, if they playing their football domestically, come on, the coach is going to be that should be in charge, because
should be a coach that knows the players the most.
There should be a coach from the home base, not even just an ordinary coach. You must be coaching one of the home based teams.
And maybe that's why we have Ogumodede and Fidelis.
It's not you should be in charge completely, not just go and deputize somebody.
They were in charge of the qualifiers actually, but just like Asensio said, maybe the NFF just felt that no, when you consider the fact that we've never laid our hands on this particular trophy.
The closest was Salisu Yusuf, and we're beating blue,
4-0
black, and yellow
by
Morocco in the final.
4-0. 6 years ago. In fact, the last time we played the part
that was the last time we played.
That was the last time, and we've been. It has been a case of near misses. Getting close, but
the last time was Ghana that stopped us here at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Penalty shootout. I was on the stadium that day. After we lost 2-0 in Ghana, we came back to Nigeria. We were able to score 2 goals and take the game to penalty shootout, and somehow, we couldn't convert from 12 yards. And we lost it. Now, 19 teams. In Group A of that competition, we've got... Group A games will be played in Kenya. We've got Angola, DR Congo, Kenya, Morocco, and Zambia. Now, all Group A matches will be played in Kenya. And also, the final of the competition will also take place in Kenya. There are 5 stadiums hosting it. 2 in Kenya, 2 in, of course, Tanzania, which is 1 in Tanzania and 1 in Zanzibar. And just 1 in Uganda, which is in Kampala. Now... Angola, DRC, Kenya, Morocco, and Zambia, a tough group. Now, DRC, when it comes to local-based football, we've seen it with Tupusa Mozambique, a very strong side. Now, Morocco, for obvious reasons, are the only North African side who have continued.
They used to be a very strong side, not now and again.
They've not been there.
You mean DR Congo?
No, TP Mozambique.
TP Mozambique.
They are still one of the best sides. Maybe not recently getting
in the last. I mean, why were they not in what they call it?
The Club World Cup.
It means in the last 4 years they've not been able to.
They've actually been living on past glory.
And funny enough, even when they were even that team that we're talking about, it wasn't because of their home-based player. They have a lot of players, of course, because they were a big brand. They were a big
signing
brand.
Players from Zambia, Ghana,
everywhere.
Austin Oladapo played for them at some point.
And then, of course, we got Angola, we've got Morocco, Zambia. Now, even the Zambian league, we've seen some improvement in a couple of months. Maybe not at the highest level because we don't see the Zambian clubs, the Zesco of the rest, compete well. But I'm particularly looking at Morocco in this one. Recently, Moroccan football has blossomed.
Yeah.
At all levels.
Of course,
facts. At all levels, male, female.
When you say football,
junior,
right, you are being economical with it. Through sport in Morocco has blossomed.
Infrastructure-wise,
there has been
everything.
Heavy investment over the past 4 or 5 years. Yeah. More than 5 years. Sport in Morocco, they've been preparing themselves for so many things.
Sure.
Sport in Morocco has blossomed very, very. I mean, go to basketball, they're not doing bad. Football, female football, practically everything, right?
To buttress your point, we're talking about a Moroccan. I'm talking about the national team, the women national team. 2 meetings before the last one, we beat them 8-0. Beat them 6-0.
Far back before the early 2000s.
Yeah. But the last time we met in the last tournament, it took a lottery of penalties for them to beat us. Now
we had to come back.
We had to crawl our way back.
Physical growth.
So they are improving. And
improvement.
The fact that you see most of their players, they don't even need to travel to Europe to make a name for themselves. With that Casablanca, Raja Casablanca,
you're going too
AS far.
You're going too far. These guys are saying they're not even Africans. That's been. I mean, even during the World Cup, people are saying, "Come on, how come an African team is playing?"
They should be playing the Arabian nations.
When they do play the Arabian,
I think when they were bidding for to host the World Cup
with Spain,
they said something that were not too parallel. I think it's just the name that were Africa or something.
They were hoping to be an Afro-European tournament when they were holding to bid with Spain and Portugal for the World Cup. In that one, in Group B, of course, Burkina Faso, the Central African Republic, Madagascar, Mauritania, and Tanzania. Now, Tanzania is a team you should also watch out for. Football in Tanzania is also growing rapidly, and is one of. See, sometimes when you look at the East African nations, I'm impressed with how they've been able to do things. Now, they may not have all of the infrastructure, but when they have one, they're able to maintain it well. Something we here in West Africa, especially we and our Ghanaian brothers, are not able to do. Because let's be honest with ourselves, what stops the West Africa from hosting a CHAN tournament? But we are the stadiums. Ghana are struggling. In fact, at some point last year, we're hearing that Ghana's game will be
They wanted to come to Abuja.
away from Ghana to come and play in Uyo.
Yeah.
They are qualifiers for the World Cup. That's how bad the entire Ghana is. Benin Republic don't play their home games in their stadium. They play their home games in Ivory Coast.
Yeah. Burkina Faso just got a stadium finally, I think. Yeah, just got a stadium finally.
In Ouagadougou.
See, the truth is this, right? The only place in Africa where sport looks like, it's growing, or where the people that manage sport knows what they're doing is North Africa. With all we're talking about Tanzania, Zanzibar, Zimbabwe, and this brother, there's nothing there. Let's be very factual with ourselves. Probably you're looking at their capacity, but we have countries that are way lower that are not up to their capacity in other parts of the world. Come on, they're doing very well sport wise. Good infrastructure. The simple truth is this: Africa is a continent with a lot of youth, and the best you can do right now is to take advantage, because they have abilities. Take advantage of these guys and get them engaged
productively.
Now, nothing is going on. Like we said, I mean, for years, Burkina Faso have been playing at home until, I mean, I don't know how true is it. Until recently, I saw a stadium. They've been showing it. Finally, CAF is going to inspect it and probably will start playing at home. Nobody knows when Benin Republic will go back
playing at home.
A whole country of 200 million person have only one stadium that is certified by CAF. Only the Gospel Akpabio Stadium. We have an Abuja National Stadium here. We thought when Duku came in, we thought the first project is going to do in the first 5, 6, 7 months is to make sure that this stadium come back to life, but nothing up to now. So let's not see, aside from North Africa and Africa, forget it. Nobody takes sports so serious, and it's supposed to be our area of competitive advantage because we have teaming youth.
Well, I mean, South Africa is trying to.
Statistically, I mean, okay, yeah, South Africa, yes, with the exception of South Africa. I mean, South Africa is, I mean, that's an exceptional case.
It's the hosted the World Cup.
It's an exceptional case.
It's the hosted the World Cup.
Their league, their everything. Stability. You understand? You can even see it. As a matter of fact, sorry, the last ball was played in South Africa.
Now you see some European teams coming to South Africa for pre-season.
But coming down. So let's not sound, let's not wax lyrical, or let's not try to be economical with the truth, right? See, sports is in Africa is a North African thing. Take away North Africa, nothing.
Because of course, without North Africa, who bails Africa from hosting tournaments?
Nothing.
Morocco is already hosting the next.
Cameroon did it sometimes ago.
They host,
they host AFCON in December. Host the next AFCON next year.
4 under 17 women. I think women are meant under 17 tournament. But let's quickly rush to Group C, where there's Algeria, Guinea, Niger, South Africa, and Uganda. Of course, Algeria represented the North Africans in that one. South Africa do have a very strong league, so we should watch out for
South Africa.
The South Africans also. Of course, Sundowns, we saw
Uganda will be the whipping babies there.
What Sundowns did at the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
If it's to go by, core of their players played in South African league,
sure.
And they've got a strong squad. Mm-hmm. We know for a certainty that even the main players of the South African national team are from the local league.
Yeah.
South Africa barely have players from the outside.
Right now.
It is
aside the guy that plays for Burnley.
Yeah, a pocket few. They really don't have many players who come from outside of South Africa.
Almost 100% South
to
Africa.
play for them. Almost all their players
well paid, not
play.
taken care of.
Of course, is from the league. Talking about
Williams
Runway. Though I don't think he's part of the chance squad. Because,
I doubt it.
One thing with South Africa, they don't include their main players, even though they play in the league, in the chance squad and all of that. But let's go to Group D. That's where Nigeria is. We play against Senegal, who are the defending champions. Mm-hmm. From the last tournament, Senegal have just one player who will be making his return to this one. Of course, Congo.
Funny enough, sorry to say this. I think another country that is doing well, so that it's not going to be like I'm making a blanket statement. Senegal is doing well too, sport-wise.
Senegal has
been doing well sport-wise.
In football.
In male football, they hold the entire trophy.
Even basketball.
Under 17 champion, under 20 champion. They
won the
AFCON champions before Cote d'Ivoire won it though.
Yeah.
They were AFCON champions
there has been developed for them. Sport has been developing in those countries. You understand? And I think some countries that have more than a stadium when it comes to hosting tournaments.
Yes, that stadium is barely 5 years old.
Yeah, they have more than a stadium. That's what I'm trying to say. I think they have more than a stadium.
Yeah.
Where you can comfortably, they are certified by CAF and probably by extension maybe FIFA, because if CAF satisfies it, then FIFA by extension satisfies it, because so. Senegal is not doing bad at all. That's another country in West Africa that's not doing bad. And like, see their women in the WAFCON.
Yeah.
They did well.
Now let's put our focus on Group D, because that's where Nigeria is. Now the Chan Eagles played out a friendly against Zanzibar. 2 friendlies. I beg up. 2 friendlies against Zanzibar. Yes. The first one ended goalless. The second one, of course, just on Thursday, saw the Chan Eagles play out a 2-2 draw. They led in the first half by 2-0 with Anas Yusuf, of course, the MPFL top scorer among the scorers. 18 goals in the MPFL. Is now gotten his chance. Scored the goal in the first half of that game, and then we threw a 2-goal lead. Zanzibar came back and played out a 2-2 draw. Just before we enter, Kari Sam said whether we change the entire squad or we put 13 new players, it's not enough for the team not to hold on to a 2 goals against the Zanzibar side. It doesn't speak confidence.
That was
our first game against the defending champions, Senegal.
But I mean, come on, like saying goes, you don't give what you don't have. Not that we don't have the team. I mean, not that we don't have the players, but we don't have a team. There's a difference between players and team.
Sure.
I mean, players are individual, teams are collective effort. I mean, teams are collective effort, right? So what we're suffering is lack of a team. How long have they been in what they call it?
I must be honest with myself. If there's anything to go by, this Chan Eagles team, I've had plenty of times, because there were 3 different camping exercises before the tournament was postponed.
Now here,
And then
here
when
is it.
the team went to Ikene,
Here is it.
spent
Right?
about 3 weeks in Ikene.
Check out the rotation. How many of those guys by the time you want to go through the list right now, how many of those guys that were part of the first 3 camps are you talking about? Probably more than half.
No, core of them were.
The core of them actually.
Core of them were. The team did not change. Only the players who left Nigeria.
Yes.
And about 5.
Isaac
To
Xavier.
some extent, I think in all this they should have Anas Yusuf.
No, he was part. He was part of the qualifiers against
Ghana.
Yes, he was part.
Okay, yeah.
It was
he
the Super
he
Eagles squad that went. That the Chinese, some of the Chinese players were drafted to the team.
Yeah.
Some Chinese players were dropped there, but core of the players that are started.
But the
been
thing
with
is
the
this,
team.
right? The thing is this, right? Now that's one aspect. Then the other aspect is the league. It's about how competitive, the quality of the league. You understand? It says it all because come on, there's no justification for leading 2-0 against the Zanzibar. I mean, team that nobody knows anybody. I mean,
But
that
not
nobody
to
knows.
take it away. Now let's look at Senegal for example. When last has a Senegalese team got into the CAF Champions League group stage? We cannot even probably name a Senegalese team, but they're champions of CHAN.
Jean d'Arc.
But they're champions of CHAN. So it just tells you that sometimes it's not the value of the league. Sometimes it's not, because if Senegal could dominate the CHAN tournament,
the North
without
Africa
having
have dominated it for long because of what? Because of this. So the Senegal is an exceptional case. It's not enough.
Well, no, I think in
the
my
North
own
Africa,
opinion,
go and check in the last 4-5 edition, which part of Africa, which country in Africa, wins it? Certainly North Africa have more.
yeah,
So it goes to see that it happened
RS
once.
Berkane.
You understand?
winning the Confederations
Not
Cup.
forget. I'm talking about even the CHAN itself.
Okay, though if you look at it historically, DR Congo has won the CHAN tournament twice. Morocco twice. We have Tunisia, we have Libya, and then Senegal.
So what are we talking about? So it means the North Africa that we're talking about won more than any other person. So it's not a coincidence. The DR Congo you are talking about, you know about their domestic league.
when they were dominant.
Yeah, when they were dominant. Now they're no longer dominant. You understand? So that's Senegal. Among all these guys that you actually call, the only team that we know don't have a sound league and have actually won it is Senegal. Now, a one of things is not enough to say, look, you must not have the best of the league.
But there's something they do, and they are getting it right. They have a way of shipping their local talent to Europe.
That's what Senegal do. They don't
They
even
do it.
they
They have a very well organized academy.
Because
Yeah.
for me, I think
I know.
in as much as the
Mane is from there.
the Chinese Eagles might not be favored.
Patrick Vieira still has
In as much
this
as the Chinese
ties
Eagles might not be
to
favored
Senegal.
in this tournament, of course, because we understand that many are still whether Eric Chelle should have been the coach or all of that. Leave
So I'm
it
not the only person that
Ogumodede
of course,
and of course
Fidelis
Fidelis Lechukwu. But there's something that I must also give kudos to Eric Chelle. When camp opened in Ikene, he's been with the players.
Yes, he has been.
He's
there.
had. I remember the last 2 days of camping. He went to France before he returned to Nigeria, and then the team went to Zanzibar. He's been with the team, so he's had several training sessions with the team, morning and afternoon, to understand the core of the players, and he's picked the team and he's going with the boys. Now it's for also these boys to now prove a point. The last time we went with Salisu Yusuf, I don't think many gave us a chance.
No.
Nobody gave the team a chance. They got to the final and they were exposed.
See. I doubt if anybody is not going to give us a chance if we're participating in any sport in Africa. Any sport whatsoever. Let's be frank with ourselves. I doubt, apart from sport that, look, even sport that we don't, even sport that is not our area of competitive advantage, people will still give us, because by every parameter, no matter how you want to look
They
at
know
it,
we've got the
we have
talent.
everything.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that they didn't give us a chance. Come on. You're talking about Salis when the league was even, I think, still a bit better compared to what we have right now.
And he had better players.
Than what we have right now.
Timothy
So-
Danladi.
We had good players.
We had
So it's not about giving us a chance.
Rabiu Ali.
We had Agbe.
See,
Don't forget we
it's
had
not
Chigozie
about
Agbe.
it's not about giving us a chance. It's about we know. It's just like telling me that because I mean in a South African in a South American competition, you're not going to give Brazil a chance. In any sport,
Brazil will always be
Brazil, you always see, you expect them to do well by virtue of who they are. So the same thing with us. You don't need to give us a chance. We have what it takes to do all these things. But are we serious? No. So come on, let's not use our lack of seriousness as, the reason why we're saying, come on, nobody give us a chance. We have a league that has been run haphazardly for the past 4-5 years. We have a league that 2-3, back to back, we have an abridged version. We have a league that...
No, we didn't have an abridged version.
I'm talking about 2-3 years ago now. Back to back, we have abridged version. We have a league that none of its champion has gone beyond the group stage of the CAF competition.
Group stage.
They've not got into the
They've not
group
got-
stage.
They've not got into the group stage.
Let's not go beyond.
So
They've not got
the issue basically it boils down to poor management, administrative issues. Not because talent is not there. But mismanagement of talent. That's basically
maladministration.
Well, let's roll down the Senegal squad for you. Goalkeeper Henry Uzoma Ani, of course, Nuruddin Badmus and Lawal Mustafa. I think Lawal is started to be the first choice goalkeeper, plays football. I think with Kwara United. Defender Sadiq Ismail of Remo Stars. Bankole Hafiz, Taiwo Abdurrafiu, Uzondu Harrison of Ikorodu City, one of the four or five players from Ikorodu City. Harrison Unduka, the captain of the side. Junior Harrison Unduka, of course, also the captain of Remo Stars.
Yeah.
Nsenga Leonard of Ikorodu City, and Stephen Mayo, midfielders. Adebayo Olamilekon of Remo Stars. Hadi Haruna, of course, now with Remo Stars, also still with Remo Stars. Otanyi Taufik, Akani Kudus of Kwara United. We've also got Michael Tochukwu and Alex Oyewa, Anas Yusuf, of course, lead the line as a forward. Shola Adelani of Ikorodu City. Sikro Alimi of Remo Stars. Tomitokpe Vincent of Plateau United. Ijoma Anthony, of course, Gordon Obaje and Jabbar Malik, the squad for the Senegalese. Ijoma Anthony has been touted to lead the line for the team of Abia Warriors. It's been fantastic.
Ahead of Anas?
Yes, ahead of Anas.
Why?
He was fantastic with the team in training. Scored all the goals in the qualifier. Scored the goals in the
qualifying series.
In the qualifying series and training.
Isn't it justification for me?
And he has been the best player in training.
Isn't it justification for me? Now they've played how many matches? How many goals have he scored?
No, I mean before.
No, I'm talking about during. Now they've
only
actually
played 2 games. 2 games in Zanzibar.
How many goals has he scored?
And they played some warm-up games.
No, the warm-up games in Nigeria, it was Ijoma that was scoring. He scored 4 goals and 2 assists.
Now that they've gone beyond Nigeria, right? They've played 2 friendly matches.
Then
an announced that probably has been
never
been regarded by Eric Chelle.
One thing is this, Nkani-san, for Anas, he's not a striker, so he doesn't start ahead of Ijoma as a number 9. Anas is a winger, and Anas is a midfielder. But he was converted as a striker by Nasarawa United. So in the line, he will start behind.
I was just looking at,
but I still expect Anas to
start. Thank God, finally you said he has been converted. We've seen players convert. So just tell me that you're not going to start. I mean, back then you're not going to start Kolosho because Kolosho is not a defender. He was converted by. So that's the reason why you're not going to start him.
So you think Anas should start ahead of Ijoma?
Of course, by a big record now. What are you talking about? How many goals in the league this season?
18 goals.
How many penalties? Just 2 or 3, I think. Raise away open goals.
Now most of his goals were from open play.
Most of his goals were open play.
Open play goals. Now, how many matches has he played with the Senegal?
Well,
probably started because he started last game.
He started.
And you saw it. He scored
the last game.
So see, there are certain things there that we don't need to hit ourselves. It's like when I don't know. I'm trying to remember this in England when you were consistently keeping. What was his name?
Hurricane?
No, not Hurricane. The
Tammy
Chelsea
Abraham.
guy. The last World Euros.
Cole
Palmer on the bench. Well, clearly he was supposed to be starting ahead of
because he was in form.
Because he was in form.
Yeah.
You understand? But you're keeping him on the bench. He came in the final, scored against this thing.
Against Spain.
There are certain things that you don't need to struggle. See, if it is red, it is red. If it is white, it is white. You understand? If it is not, we understand that life is not either black or white. And we understand that, but that's what we call stats and facts on ground. If facts on ground speaks in favor of you, says everything about you, we don't need to drag these things. If the facts on ground are not even saying that, probably he's second or third or the 4th highest scorer in the league, I wouldn't be saying this thing. For the past 2 seasons, go and check his record. It's been amazing. So it's not a fluke. It's not a one-hit wonder. So don't be telling me that, Ijoma because he's doing well in training. But okay, you've played 2 matches now, not outside the country. What happened? Nothing yet. Probably not even shot on target because we don't have this fact. Probably not even shot on target. So do we need a suicide to that? Look, you need to drop these guys and go for Anas.
So Anas for you to start up front.
You should lead the front.
My own is let him field the strongest lineup that will get the job done. They're going to start on a very serious note.
Stop being diplomatic. The strongest lineup is the most talented lineup, right? And we're just talking about a particular thing here. So who has scored more goals in the league?
But on Kani-san, in all of this,
yeah,
the coach still has the final say.
So does that mean that the coach does not take the wrong decision? We just spoke about Kopama right now. It was wrong on the part of the coach. Fact. It was
3 Lions score at the last Euro.
It was wrong. So
another thing that will count against some of these players is the fact that some of them are traveling out for the first time. So a psychologist will need to somehow work on their psyche.
It has been a huge factor.
Some of them are traveling out for the first time. They are facing a different opposition aside what they are used to, playing against Remo Stars, Nasarawa United, Abia Warriors and all that. So they will need to really work on them. As far as this CHAN tournament is concerned, we've won silver, we've won bronze.
What is left?
And
This
going
is
for
gold.
gold should just be the ultimate plan right now. And
This is supposed to be Mission G.
the fact that
Mission Gold. Man.
the fact
Mission
that
Gold.
we now have a government that rewards excellence, they should just go all out for it.
Well, they should just go all out for it. Maybe when they come back, their own price will be $150,000 for each player. And Okani-san has said he's an advocate of the best, of a good reward system.
I know, I am.
So if the Charlie Goose can go, for me, if the Charlie Goose go on to win gold, they've surpassed what the Super Falcons have done, because this is a competition we've never won before.
But funny enough, what I'm looking at for, right, is at the end of the day, 2-3 players should be able to start.
No,
or should be able to play for.
No, I think that's why Eric Chelle has taken this
2-3 players.
It's not just because
We should that beyond the chance, right? Henceforth, when we're going to play this in September, at least 1 or 2. I'm not saying they should start, but they should be able to be given. I mean, you should give them reasonable minutes.
No,
for me,
he actually had that plan with Isaac Saviour. Unfortunately, Isaac Saviour he left Nigeria. Papa Daniel,
and I must say this,
has gone to Slovenia.
Again, kudos. Sometimes you don't blame the coaches, the national team handlers. And I was preview to one of the national coaches that said, when you go for a CHAN tournament, the player is not playing because he wants to come back to Nigerian Premier League. He's playing because he wants to go abroad. Now, this is why those players don't ever return. Now, when you leave Nigeria and you go to Libya and you are playing football, I am a Super Eagles coach. I don't know what is happening in Libya. The knowledge I have of the Libyan league is low. Now,
except that club is playing the Champions League.
No, I'm going somewhere, Okali-san.
You are digressing.
No, I'm not digressing. Because most of the players don't go to the best clubs.
My emphasis is this, right? My emphasis is this.
They should be able to
Player from
integrate
locally.
No, I'm saying
If you're out of the local,
okay, now let's ask. Okay,
if the coach doesn't watch you in Libya, I understand.
Let's give a scenario.
Look, let me just give a simple example. Anas Yusuf, let's assume, plays very well. You understand?
He comes back and he moves out of the league.
I'm coming. Come back and still plays in the league. You have no right. That's what I'm trying to say. He get me right.
I get
comes back and still remain in the league. Come on, he deserves to be called to the national team.
No, I'm not.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not disputing that part, because if you look
That's what I'm trying to say.
If you look at, for example, now the Remo Stars right back, Sadiq Ismail, he's been in the national team for the last 6 months, and he's also played and started games for the Super Eagles, in the
especially
absence of,
during the gold.
yes, in the absence of
friendly
No,
matches.
in qualifiers.
Which
when we went away.
Which
when we went
qualifiers?
away, Sadiq Ismail started at right back without Olaina when he was injured.
Yes, that
in
was
the Nations
against
Cup qualifiers.
Rwanda, yeah?
Yes, he started at right back.
Against
And one of the teams
Was
when we
it
went away,
Rwanda or
when we
Benin?
went away, one of the games, Sadiq Ismail started at right back.
well,
So
I would do my due
if we are
diligence.
saying that a player like that has been national team for a while, Papa Daniel has also been part of the team,
he never played,
You know-
or hardly plays.
and then but played.
He
in the
never played.
No, he played in the friendly games.
Of course,
in
you
those
said it
ones.
now. You
But
say it now.
my take is this: now, if for example Eric Chelle wants to watch Papa Daniel for 1 year, he's left the league.
No, see, you don't understand me. I understand
So-
what you're trying to say.
so I'm saying
like say, let's assume Papa Daniel goes to Libya right now, right? Agreed.
Or Slovakia.
You don't get to watch him, right? I don't have issue with that. But we're talking about you come back home. These guys are still at home. You understand? And they're playing in the league, and you get to see them. Come on, you don't have.
No,
you don't
obviously.
That's my argument here. I'm not saying. I'm not saying
he doesn't have a choice.
If you understand, I say, but see, those that will remain in the league, you should be able to give 1 or 2. That's just my argument. Here.
Kudos to later Stephen Keshi, who gave opportunities to some
A
of
lot
these
of them.
MPF players.
I think
Remember
a lot,
Gabriel Ruben?
a lot,
You know?
a lot.
You say
You
Gabriel
know,
Ruben.
Stephen Eze,
Stephen Keshi gave a lot of players, a lot of MPFL players, a chance to even
Yeah.
prove their worth in the
Ejike
national team.
Ozuenyi.
At some point, Chigozie Agbin was the first choice of the Super Eagles, not the CHAN Eagles, the Super Eagles, you know. And of course, he also had his time, and
Ikechukwu
all of the
Ezenwa
Ikechukwu
too.
Ezenwa and the rest were also
Yeah.
featured as goalkeeper. I must say kudos to them, but again, sometimes some of these players also need to understand that you can still play in Nigeria, have a good career, play in the national team, and still have a good career, because
Play Nigeria and have a good career.
yes, now they can.
He's okay.
Remo Stars.
I
for
raise my
example.
case.
No, Remo Stars, for
I raise
example.
my case.
Okay, so you can play Remo Stars and have a good career.
I raise my case. I don't
You-
say.
you
I'm
disagree?
not saying anything for
No,
that. I'm not saying anything for that.
You disagree?
I'm not saying anything
a
for
typical
that.
example is Sikiru Alimi.
He's been playing in the MPFL for
Yes,
a
I'm not
while.
saying
he's-
anything for that.
Is a good pay?
It's still not anything close to that guy that is playing in Libya. So let's leave it there.
Well, the CHAN Eagles begin their campaign on Tuesday against defending champions Senegal. Of course, Nigeria, Senegal are in the opening game. But before then, Tanzania will be playing the opener tomorrow, which is on Saturday, the opening game of the CHAN tournament in Group B in that particular one. Kenya, of course, the other host nation, will play on Sunday. And of course, Uganda, the other host nation, will play on Monday. I love the way the tournament is spread. After Nigeria's first game, they have 1 week before their next game. I don't
Against
like
Sudan.
it, but that's too long before the Super Eagles will play their next group game. They will play 3 games in 3 weeks. of the tournament, which is crazy for me. But the organizers know why they've put it that way. Hopefully, when we come back to speak about the Chan tournament again, we would have won our first game. I will trust us to bring you live, of course, our commentary of the game between Nigeria and, of course, Senegal. That game is on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Nigerian time, and we'll be live here to give you commentary of that game. Football Temple brought to you by Alza Studios.